today's video we're going to make pork stroganoff. Pork stroganoff is one of my personal favourite dishes. It is a simple dish to make involving a variety of these ingredients. These ingredients consist of pork pieces to start with. Now these can be bought in the supermarket. There are a variety of the different cuts of pork meat, probably mainly the loin and the shoulder cuts. This can also be made with pork fillet also. The pork fillet will give it a much more tender and succulent meat, but please be aware the pork fillet will be quite a bit more expensive. We use lots of white onion, that we sweat down, and we get lots of flavour in there with the white onion. We use lots of button mushrooms that are sliced like so. A little bit of veg oil just to lubricate the bottom of the pan and also help anything from sticking. We will cook off some straightforward whole grain rice. Again, you can use any type of rice. It can be white rice, brown rice, whatever you prefer. We're using today whole grain rice. The three main flavours that go into the stroganoff then are Dijon mustard, paprika, lemon juice. This is then finished with double cream. Please remember, when cooking any sort of dishes that involve cream, please use proper cream and not a fake substitute. Fake substitutes are not cream. They're hydrogenated, often hydrogenated vegetable fat, and what can happen is they can split and they can curdle in your dish. The final touch are gherkins that are split down the middle like so. And these give a crunch factor to the dish, and they also give it a little bit of flavour and texture as well. That is a quick rundown of your ingredients for the pork stroganoff. As always, I want to begin by frying off my pork. The pork pieces, as you can see here, are probably about 1.5 centimetre dice in chunks. You can use any type of pork. Pork fillet is probably recommended, but it can be a little bit more expensive. As always, we always start with a nice hot pan. In the hot pan, we have a little bit of vegetable oil just to coat the bottom of the pan and to stop the meat from sticking. So I give it a few minutes to heat up beforehand, and then I add in my pork pieces. Now we're starting to get a little bit of colour on the pork. There's a small amount of water content coming out, but that's okay, we can evaporate that off. Now I'm going to add lots of onion. Probably about 2 full onions there, medium onions. And we're going to add lots of button mushrooms. Now, this looks like quite a lot in the pot. These vegetables especially will shrink in size as the water content comes out of them. Now on my chopping board, I have some of the pickled gherkins. I have drained all of the brine and the pickling liquor off them, and I'm just simply going to split them down the centre, like so. And these will be mixed in at the end for a crunch factor to the dish. As you can see, the onion and the mushroom have sweated down and they have lost a considerable amount of their size. They've shrank quite a lot, and that's fine. You've released a lot of juice and a lot of flavour into the pork dish. So into that now, we want to add our paprika. The paprika now starts to give it a nice colour. Now that our pork and our mushrooms and our onions are well cooked down in the liquor, we now want to start to add and build up the flavour. So first thing we want to add is a few really big squeezes of fresh lemon juice, and fresh lemon juice is very important. The likes of the pre-packed stuff in the bottles and in the plastic lemons, the Jif lemon, it doesn't taste the same. So you want nice fresh lemon juice, and in there I've added 4 generous squeezes of lemon juice. At this point I want to add in my Dijon mustard, and again I want to be very generous with this. This stroganoff is now ready for finishing, and the finishing touch to the stroganoff is lots of double cream. Now, as I stated before, please do not use brands like Elmley, as they are not real cream and they will often split and curdle when you're making any dishes like this. Please only use double cream or proper cream. And if you look, the liquid in the bottom of this pot is boiling away quite hard, and it's very hot. The liquid must be hot before we add in our cream. And we add in our cream a little bit at a time and stir it in generously. When that comes to the boil, we add a little bit more. And again, this is done to prevent the cream from splitting. We now want to bring this up to the boil and let it reduce for approximately 30 seconds. Just before I finish, I just want to double check the seasoning and double check the flavour. I'm happy with that. If I wasn't happy with that, I could add, say, a stock cube to it, and that would help to enhance the flavour. Now that that is brought up to the boil vigorously, I switch it off the heat. I add in my gherkins. And mix them through. At this stage, if I wanted, I could add some fresh herbs, such as tarragon. And that is the stroganoff finished. I'm just getting the rice ready to cook. For the rice, I always like to give my rice a little rinse first of all, because this stuff has been in warehouses and in different containers, so just personal preference. I like to give it a little bit of a rinse in cold water, just to remove any contaminants and dirt that may be in it. I will let that drain for a few minutes. For the rice then, I have some lightly salted boiling water, so just maybe a teaspoon of salt in the water. The water is just starting to come up to the boil now. And right into that, I add my washed rice. I'll just give that a little bit of a stir. Stop it sticking on the bottom. We want to boil that and simmer that now for approximately 20 minutes to 30 minutes. It is whole grain rice, so it will take a little bit longer to cook. So when you're cooking rice, a little tip we can have, if you come over. This is rice, water and salt, nothing more. And if we add some turmeric to it, just a little bit, this will give and dye the rice a nice yellow colour. And also add a little bit of flavour to it.